You're watching How Well Media News.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hey y'all, what is going on? Welcome to the Daryl Walter Show. Today, we are going to be talking about all the things from Tish Hyman confronting a trans woman in the gym locker room to the latest on Wendy Williams and so much more. So also, I am really excited because later in the show, Dr. Bryant Collier will be joining me today. He is a motivational speaker, he is a faith leader, and he is going to share his insight on overcoming church hurt, overcoming trauma. You know, so many people have walked away from church, walked away from faith right now. So we are in for an amazingly powerful show. So do me a favor, grab your little snack if you at work, keep the volume down so you don't get in trouble, and I'll see you when we get back. All right, peace. Hey y'all, what is going on? Welcome to the Daryl Walter Show. How y'all doing this week? Y'all, welcome back to episode 2 of the show, and we've got so much to talk about. So let's get straight into it with what went viral. And yeah, if you've been hiding under a rock, the latest that went viral, let's start with Tish Hyman confronting the trans woman, Grant Freeman, also known as Alexis Black. Now, this is Tish Hyman. Now, Tish is a singer, songwriter, producer, rapper, and clearly a gym enthusiast. And recently, this is sparking debate all over the internet. Recently, Tish was in the gym. And she was, this person was in the bathroom, Alexis Black. Now, interestingly enough, Alexis Black, formerly known as Grant Freeman, he has a past. He has a past. Formerly, Alexis was Grant Freeman, who was arrested for drug trafficking and also has a history of domestic violence also. So this has sparked a lot of debate, a lot of conversations about trans women in the bathroom. Let's hear what Tish had to say.
Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightophobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't right.
Now, here's the thing. A lot of people have shared their opinions. Trans women shouldn't be in the women's restroom and vice versa. This has sparked a huge debate online about privacy, respect, and what spaces are safe. But here's what I want to bring to your attention. Some quick statistics. Transgender women account for the vast majority of violence against trans people. And in particular, roughly 60% of victims are Black trans women. So to me, this is bigger than the bathroom issue. I went to Tish's page, and she proudly supports MAGA. She is a MAGA supporter. So she has an agenda. She definitely has a she has an agenda. She has a point to prove. And so while I think women's safety is absolutely most important, I have to bring up that right now in this climate, the idea that is being perpetuated is putting trans people at risk. And I think this is a time right now where trans people need to be protected in the bigger picture of things. The reality is that you don't see a lot of trans people in women's restrooms at the locker room. That's just absolutely not the truth. And the bigger picture also, because of this conversation we have online, this conversation that is being had online can affect real people in real life. People who are just trying to live their life day to day. Now, this particular situation, I think Alexis Black was definitely wrong, but it definitely puts other trans people, especially Black trans people, at risk. So it's something for y'all to think about. I know my opinion is not popular per se, but listen, tap down in the comments and tell me what you think. Do you think this is an issue of just the bathroom, or is this a bigger issue that we're facing that we're not realizing? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but let's get into some stories that are making some headlines. Let's get into hot topics. All right, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna start a little light, then we're gonna get a little heavy. So first up, rest in peace to the penny. RIP to the penny. The U.S. Mint has produced its final penny this past Wednesday, and just a little clarity. Yes, it costs 4 cents to make 1 penny. So that's saving the government about $50 million per year, which I'm sure we can think of many places that $50 million can go to. Snap. Uh huh. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. And even though now pennies are no longer in circulation, just to be clear, there are 300 billion pennies still in circulation. So all you penny pinchers out there, you can still use your penny. Okay. So if you've got a penny jar at home, it might just become a collector's item. And I'm wondering how much it's going to be worth. All right. Speaking of pennies, for your thought, let's move on to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, our beloved icon, the woman who coined Hot Topics, as many of you know, has been in a guardianship for at least 3 years now. And recently, according to reports, Wendy underwent, let me talk now. Recently, Wendy underwent a battery of neurological tests, and the results show that she does not have front temporal dementia, according to the neurologist. This update was shared with her legal team, who plans to use it to help her end her guardianship, which has been in place for several years. This is a big moment, not just for Wendy, but Wendy represents a lot of people out there who are in conservatorships, like Britney Spears, and who people who are over their finances. Honestly, y'all, this is a reminder. Let me just say this. especially to my people out there. Get your affairs in order while you still can, while you're still in your right mind, so that if anything should happen, you don't end up like a Wendy. And I'm not saying that to be shady, but this is something that I really believe could have been prevented. You know, unfortunately, her family wasn't able to. Her son, there was some issues with their son. I don't know if y'all remember. He was taking large amounts of money out of her account, and her husband, her ex-husband, well, we all know he has a new family. But at the end of the day, the bigger picture is find someone that you can trust. Those of you out there, get your life insurance in order. Not only that, but get your medical plans in order so that should the time come, you don't end up in a position where you're in a guardianship that you don't want to be. I don't know what the future holds for Wendy Williams because there's been a lot going on. She's been sober for 3 years. She's been in this conservatorship trying to get on. I don't see her coming back to TV, but I pray that she's able to live a comfortable life and that she's out of something that she doesn't need to be in. Prayers up for Wendy. Tap down in the comments if you agree with me or not, or just send some prayers to Wendy that she makes it through this. All right. Now let's move on to the government shutdown that is finally over. After 43 days, the longest government shutdown in history is finally over. The House passed a bill to end the shutdown, and President Trump signed it. Bring up that picture of President Trump. Even though this particular chapter has ended, the fight in Washington is far from over, y'all. And listen, politics aside, shutdowns not only, yes, that one. Yes, because that's what he's doing to me. Even though the shutdown is over, that man don't give a good, he don't care. Okay, he don't give a good damn. Um, this is a wake up call. This is a wake up call to y'all to get out there and vote because we see that voting does matter. This is a wake up call for leadership on both sides. Okay, that we gonna get through this, y'all. This government shutdown has affected a lot of families, a lot of people playing catch up now. It's still going to affect those of you who are traveling out there. The effects are going to linger on. And that bill that was passed is only signed through January. So let's go. And speaking of the president, anybody else tired of the president right now? And just like, don't it feel, it's only been what? It ain't even been a year. And it feels like it's been, and we got 3 more years of this. Anyways, hopefully not. Okay. Recently, Democratic members of the House of Oversight Committee released thousands of emails, mainly many directing referencing former President Trump from the Epstein estate. Okay. The question now is, what does it say about accountability and transparency in who we trust? These emails have included Trump saying that he knew about the girls. I'm gonna say allegedly, but it's all in there. So honestly, I've been saying this for a minute, but I compare this to Nixon. Okay, denied. He's been denying it for a long time, but it's gonna come out, and eventually, this is my prediction. So we're gonna see if I'm right. Eventually, he's gonna have to bow out gracefully because the evidence is gonna be too much that he's not gonna be able to stay in office. We are watching a Nixon situation, what is it, the Watergate situation play out, okay? So no matter what side of the aisle you on, I think people are tired of politics being personality instead of principle. Hmm? I'm gonna say it again. People are tired of politics being personality and not principle, okay? People are hungry. This man is building a ballroom. People are tired. This man is traveling still, and it's a mess. And I don't know about you, but I am tired of it, and we need prayer. Speaking of prayer, let's move on to Lillian Loyd. Now, I'm excited for this. Lillian Loyd, gospel singer, evangelist. Y'all know her from the famous song One More Chance, formerly of Ricky Dillard and New G, has recently announced that she is always going to be singing. She is always going to be evangelizing, but she is stepping into her calling of being a pastor. January 11th, 2026, Lillian is coming back to Macon, Georgia to be the pastor of the church called The Gathering. And she wrote, and I quote, "I will sing for the rest of my life. Singing is my gift, but preaching is my calling." Y'all, I don't know if you remember, if you go back and look at the old Daryl Walter Show season one, I actually interviewed Lillian Loyd, and she is, and I've actually met her several times in Las Vegas. She is an amazing life. I think she's a great leader, and I really believe she's going to be a great addition to the world of pastors. She's honest, she's truthful, she has an amazing gift. Now I'm interested to see how all of this is gonna play out. So maybe Lillian, if you're out there and you're watching this, maybe you can come on the show and talk to us about the church and everything. But I love this for her. I really do, and I love ending hot topics on a light note like this. Hallelujah! Thank God for the gathering. Listen, I'm not gonna get into Akon, but I'm just gonna say he got arrested and he was released, and that's all I got for now. Okay, let's keep it pushing. Now, let's move on. I'm really excited for my special guest, Dr. Bryant Collier, just to get to know him, and we're going to be talking about all the things around faith and church hurt. So, do me a favor, tap down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the hot topics, how you feel about them, and let's take a quick break, and we'll be back. All right.
Hey y'all, it's Nicole D. Vick from Nicole D. Vick Live, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Hey, it's Pastor Kim from It's Just Kim Live Show, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Hey y'all, what is going on? Welcome back to the Daryl Walter Show. Today, I am really excited about this conversation. Many of you, if you follow my journey on social media, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, you know that I went from someone who wasn't going to church. I was at one point anti-church. You know that I had lost my faith, and I am someone now who has returned to church and has rebuilt my faith through an extensive journey of finding myself. I always say that I had to break down, decolonize my spirituality in order to build up my relationship with God. So I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I'm really excited to have my next guest on the show to have this conversation. My guest today is Dr. Bryant Collier. He is a motivational speaker who literally travels the world, inspiring people to live with purpose, walk in faith. He is known for his powerful message of resilience, of hope, and transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, welcome to the show, Dr. Collier.
Daryl.
Dr. B. Dr. Bryant. Is it Dr. B? What do you prefer?
You can do Dr. B. Dr. B is fine. That's the stage name, Dr. B. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I am great. I am so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. This is phenomenal. I am so grateful to see the light that is coming from what you're doing to make this world a better place. And I'm just so happy and humbled that you even invited me here. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. You know what? I let me just start by saying that from the time that I've met you, I've always called you the light. I was like, I'm just gonna nickname you the light because everywhere that you go, you exude such a presence that it it's clearly God. It's clearly God inspired, but it's just you as a person. Wherever you are, you bring such a positivity to the world. So before we dive into the conversation today, I just want you to tell us, for the people out there, tell us about your journey, how you
Yeah.
became a motivational speaker, how
Yeah.
you became Dr. B.
How I became Dr. B. Absolutely, absolutely. Let me touch that in a way of saying what you just said. So, one, ironically enough, I am from Macon, Georgia, where Lillian Loyd is from and where she is planting her church. So, really great to hear that in the Hot Topics section there. But raised in Macon, Georgia, I am a Kojic baby. I was born and raised and licensed in Kojic. And raised by my grandmother, who was a Black female pastor in Kojic in the 90s. So there was womanist work in justice work in my life at a very young age. Went to Fort Valley State University after high school, went to seminary for my master's. And really, I said I would never preach again. So I have preached revivals, have preached, used to spend my spring breaks actually in undergrad, preaching revivals around the state and the country. Very young life of speaking. And at that time as well, while I was in grad school, I had an offer to go and do some leadership training on the road. And that just kind of blossomed into a career. I've worked for a few mega churches around the country as well in leadership capacities. But now I fully work for myself with B. Collier Speaks. Just completed my doctorate May of 2025.
Congratulations.
From the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology at Virginia Union University, another HBCU. So kind of how I got here was learning not to stop because I got hurt back there. And I don't think we see the beauty in the process of becoming better. And we see it as attack and not preparation. But I know we're going to get into some of that in the show, so I don't want to move too fast into that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it's interesting, Daryl. If I go back and I could tell younger Brian anything at any age point of my past, even just 3 years ago, stop taking things personal. I think a lot of times when we find that we get into conflict in any space with any grouping, and I know we're going to talk about church hurt in a second, but when we get into conflict with any space, we assume that it is personal to us. Not personal that it affected me, but that it is only happening to me. That I am an anomaly in hurt. And the reality, Daryl, that I've realized in life is the thing that sometimes I felt damaged me the most is what prepared me for where I was going. Because the fact that you can be damaged and still live meant that it couldn't kill you. It was just meant to prepare you. But it's the perspective in which we look at it. Now, let me start this by saying, so I can be emotionally safe to anybody, I do not subscribe or advocate anyone going through any form of abuse. That is not my thing. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is you cannot choose or control what always happens to you, but you can choose how you respond to it. And I refuse to live in the cemetery they intended for me if I really didn't die.
Okay, so listen, I've got my questions.
You go. I was moving too fast, Daryl.
No, you're not moving too fast because there's a moment where you mentioned where you didn't want to preach.
Yeah.
You said you would never preach again.
Yeah.
And you talked about being damaged. So can you take us back to that moment, that crossroad, where there was the hurt, where you said you want to preach again, and let me ask you, what was that moment, and what made you choose to move forward to inspire others?
Okay. Ooh, that's loaded. So let me, I'm a church kid, Daryl. I mean church down. At the intro praise break, for the intro music, I was back here going. I am a church. I love church. It is my community. It is my culture. Let me pause here and say, no, I'm a conspiracy theorist some moments, Daryl, so you might have to bring me in. But I believe that there is a dismantling of Black culture by attacking the Black church and throwing out the baby with the bathwater.
Yes.
There are things that the Black church offers that no other space offers. Yes. We are used to seeing musical prodigies. We are used to watching and creating the future speakers of I learned how to speak. I learned how to work a room that I use in secular spaces right now in the church. That is where I had space. I think a music artist said that the reason why we don't have good R&B anymore is because they're not coming out of the church anymore. You know, they're not coming out of that. So I say that to say I was a church kid. I'm a young preacher, licensed for 2 decades now. Please don't do that math, but I've been licensed to preach. My nickname was Preacher growing up. And so I come from that essence. But I hit a place at the end of undergrad for me where a mixture of being mishandled by preachers and pastors and people in church mixed with not believing what I was preaching finally came to a head. And that's where I was sitting. I ended up going to a preaching conference in Dallas as a gift for graduation because I'm a churchy kid, right? That's what you give me for graduating. Went to this conference, and there I was convicted that my call was bigger than my hurt. And there was something in me, not necessarily to preach again, but to go through the journey of exploring not what I've been preached to, but what did I actually believe and where did I get it from? Because no matter what you believe, I think we should always ask ourselves the question, where did you get it from? No matter what the religion is, whatever your spiritual outlook is, it's cute that you believe it. My question is, where did you get it from? Because if you just came up with it, is it really real? Has it been tried? Has it been tested? Are you going to change your mind in 30 days? Okay. And so for me, I was convicted to do that journey. And when I got through that journey, one, I realized that I was loved and that what I called brokenness was really preparation.
Okay. Expound on that a little bit more. Brokenness becoming preparation.
Brokenness is preparation. The analogy we use in church world is about the olive. If you want the oil, you gotta press it. You gotta press it so that it can be great. And that's cute. That's great. But what are some other features of that? Gold, it must sit in fire. And the higher the carat is directly correlated to how long it has sat in the fire. Okay, let me bring something a little bit closer to us. Thanksgiving is coming up, and y'all want chitlins. Some of the saints still eat chitlins. I'm a country boy, but if you want them done right, you may get 2 or 3 big buckets, but after you strip away and after you clean, you are left with only the little that is good. And I think what ends up happening is that for a lot of us, we don't see that the struggles and the persecution and the fight and the obstacles that are put in our way, they are making us stronger for what we will face the next time.
Yeah.
Now, once again, I hate that we have to go through some of the things that we have to go through, but in a very practical way, a kid does not learn how to walk without falling, because falling teaches them balance.
Yeah.
And we want a life without falling, but a life with balance. Ooh, I'm blessing myself right now. And so here is the thing. If you don't have some resistance, they tell you if you're into lifting weights that you only gain muscle by lifting what's stronger than you.
Yeah.
It has to tear the muscle. And so for me, I've changed my perspective so that I can, in a very clear way, see that I am not a victim of what happened to me if I do something with the experience. Because I am not the only one that's been hurt. Yes.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, this is the whole reason I wanted to have the conversation, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I see so many people out there. One, there's no perfect church, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's just every week there's a scandal. There's a
Mm-hmm.
pastor getting arrested.
Yeah.
You know, we saw Keith McQueen last
Yeah.
week. You know, and I see a lot of people who, when these things come out, it's like, see, this is why I don't mess with Christians.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why I don't mess with the church.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a place, honestly, where I understand that the church is made up of human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff happens, you know, and I don't hold it against church per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my heart has changed to a space where I just have a faith in God that has just like, it's on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
So my question and this conversation, you know, what do you say to the people out there who are not just church hurt, but
Mm-hmm.
they're holding on to it? It has affected the way that they move. You know, a lot of people have like this, you know, what did Marion say? I got this ice, I got this ice box in my heart. Whatever, my heart is cold, and so I would want to know, like, what would you say to those people out there? Not necessarily to change their mind, but to maybe to get them to see a different way. Okay, you may not come back to church to release the hurt. Does that make sense, what I'm asking?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. And Daryl, I'm just going to say this before I start. You invited me here and you have asked me this question. If you don't invite me back anymore after this answer, it's okay. I am a straight shooter. And so I'm just going to cushion this by saying I love everybody, and I mean everybody well. But I need to be as authentic as I can. And so here's my answer to that. I think people need to grow up. I'm going to sit that there for a second because I have visited this many times. Let me start here and say, I love that you said we are all humans. If I have an orange in this hand and a pineapple in this hand, if I squeeze this orange juice is going to come out. If I squeeze this hand, pineapple juice is going to come out. I should never squeeze an orange and expect pineapple juice to come out. Because oranges don't produce pineapple juice. We keep squeezing humans and expecting perfect to come out. It's stupid. That's not even realistic. Now, what do you mean by that, Bryant? That job has looked you over how many times and you still show up? You have been frustrated with coworkers and you still show up. Okay, Bryant, well, that's my job. That's where I work. Okay, cool. You still sleeping with that man or that woman that cheated on you. You still going back to that ex. Okay, let me make it larger. Let me make the picture, even here. You stopped going to church because a person in church hurt you, but you didn't stop dating and you still believe in love and somebody broke your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand that, because here's the thing. We have unrealistic expectation of people in certain places. And this is one of the largest and most beneficial things I think we can share with people that may be in that space. You need to stop romanticizing people who are in church. A person who has been called to ministry has not been called to perfection. They've been called to service. And they are only on a pedestal, not because they put themselves there, but people and culture have put them there. They are human. And they're human when you tell them, you can't tell me what to do. I put on my pants the same way as you. But when they mess up like you, now they're supposed to be superior.
Yeah.
Now, I don't condone for any form of abuse, but don't be picky about where you get abused.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I know, because here's the thing. If that be the case, that would be like me saying, Daryl, you and I are friends, and I had another friend hurt me. So now I'm going to cut you off, Daryl, because that's a friend that hurt me. So now all friends are going to hurt me. What's the difference?
Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you think the church has a responsibility to address the hurt, to address...
Yeah, let's address it all then, but let's address all of it. Let's address all of it. Let's address the hurt that I, as a member who make a commitment that I will continue to come and give to help this community. Because let's say this, we spend more in fantasy leagues than we spend on church, and fantasy leagues gives us less.
Yeah.
We give the weed man, I'm sorry. We give the liquor store.
No, come on, let's talk about it.
We give all these other places our resources, but we don't call on those places when we are in need. We call on the place that we've abandoned when we're in need. And I am not saying, once again, the church is perfect. I just have a more realistic space of it. The church is a gathering of community. What I love, there's a passage, Daryl, in Matthew or Mark, I think it's Mark chapter 2. Jesus is sitting with some of the people, and the Pharisees come in. They're like, why are you sitting with them? They're tax collectors. You shouldn't be sitting with them. He says, I didn't come for those who are healthy. I came for those who are sick.
Yeah.
And I think we forget that the church is a hospital, and we have falsified what sickness looks like.
Yeah.
That now we can't even show our pain. Now, let me say this to your point. Yes, I believe the church should address the hurt. But here is my question to those who are hurting. Once they address it and apologize, are you going to let it go? I think, Daryl, that there's a group of people out there that if they let go of the hurt of what somebody did to them, they won't have any other form of identity.
I'm going to agree with that. And let me just put this in here also. I think Jesus and therapy go hand in hand.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who feel like, oh, if I just go to the altar, if I just get, delivered from this. But sometimes I believe letting go is a process that can only be done not just through the church, but through therapy, because some of those hurts are not just from the church, but they're deeper rooted issues that people have. So let me ask you this. How can people, one of my questions right now, how can people separate God from the people who hurt them in the name of God? Because people still, have that
No,
connection.
I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. If we are standing in the middle of the store and if we're standing in, let's say we're standing in, I'm trying to think of a store that's an ally. Because I was like, I can't say that. I can't say that. But let's say we're standing in the middle of a shop or a store and someone with a vest or a name badge comes and pushes me down because we have beef outside. Okay? It's not the store's fault that this person pushed me. I can blame the store. But the person who did it had their own reasons that don't reflect the store. The store don't even know me.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is because one, we have unrealistic expectations of people. We assume that anybody that is representing God is perfect. No one who represents God is perfect. I don't care if they're your grandma, your daddy, your boo thing, your sister, bishop, apostle, mother. I don't care who they are. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. There is no one who is without sin. So everybody, Daryl, has the possibility to hurt you. They are going to let you down. I don't care how anointed, how great they preach, how much they say they love you. Everybody has the possibility to hurt you. Blaming God that somebody hurt you, but you don't blame God when you hurt other people is crazy to me.
That's good.
It's our inability to see ourselves in the mirror. And I agree with you. We need Jesus and therapy. I go to a therapist. I take the medicine. Yeah. Oh, I don't have nobody in this church. I take the medicine and I still worship and I still pray, because here's how I think it works, Daryl. The altar gives me the vulnerability to even get to the couch to work through what I'm going through. The altar gives me the power to go to the couch to work through it. The altar reveals what I need to talk about when I get to the couch. And let me say this, Daryl, the same way everybody going to the church ain't representing God, everybody going to therapy ain't doing the work. Just because you go to therapy doesn't mean you're doing the work, especially when you're lying to your therapist. Sips tea. Some of us need to go and let our friends go to the session with us because we are lying to our therapist about the part we played in it. Telling your therapist you didn't say it like that. Yes, you did. I hope I answered that question. I'm sorry.
No, you have. That's the same way people be lying to their doctor about how many partners they've had. Kwame, let's clip this. We're going to make this a moment. I said what I said.
I said what I said. I said what I said.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to have you back for a part 2.
Absolutely. I'm having so much fun. I am
too, because it's just been on my heart from the time that I asked you to be on the show.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so many people out there who are going to be watching this, so many people that I know. And this is not a call to like, ooh, I want you to go to church, or ooh, I want you to be like me. No, but I really want people to heal, you know, and especially when I see so much going on with the hot topics. I talked about Marvin Wine and all these different people. And every week I turn around, it's a minister being arrested for this, or somebody, you know, going to jail for this. And there's the people who I felt like, for me, a long time is, you know, I was affected by it, and I carried the hurt for so long, and I carried it for so long that it skewed the way that I looked at people. You know what I mean? It skewed the way that I was able to receive love. It skewed the way that I was able to just kind of operate and move through life, dare I say. Like, honestly, go ahead.
Can I touch on that really quickly?
Yeah.
Daryl, we are responsible for what we feed ourselves.
Yeah.
There's a pastor from Macon. He was my grandmother's pastor, my mother's pastor. He would say this quote. He said, "You cannot stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can stop it from building a nest there." And what we do is we don't realize that we don't control the media. So there are people that get profits off of our dysfunction, and they enjoy feeding us information that they know are clickbaits. And so here's the thing. Are you upset because this happened in church and a preacher did this and all of this? Or is it feeding into the entertainment you enjoy? I don't do, because the Bible talks about spreading seeds of discord. That is swift to run to mischief. So all of those things, you like mess. You like being nosy. Because here's the thing. If we can't get you to get out of that relationship with that man you love or that woman you love so much, even though they are not treating you as great as they should, why do you want a person to leave a church when they're happy being there? So Sister Girl, everybody was upset about Marvin Winans, and Sister Girl turned around and said, "No, I'm good. I'm good here." You're uncomfortable. So people have asked me about Mike Todd stuff and Marvin Winans stuff and all of this. And my response is always the same, Daryl. I am not a member of that church, so I don't care. It's not my business. My church. I love my church. Can I shout my church out, Daryl? The Vision Cathedral of Atlanta. I love my church. My church is not perfect. My church ain't perfect. And no church is. And the way our bishop says it, and if you find a perfect church, don't go there. Please don't go there. But the reason why I love my church and know it's not perfect, because I have a realistic expectation that your family ain't perfect, but you still going to Thanksgiving dinner. Your relationship ain't perfect, but you excited about three years and you about to go to the Red Lobster. You're not excited. You're not always happy about, and your job doesn't treat you great, but you have a future and you're thinking about a future. We stay where we want to stay. And I think the church has just become an easy place for people to throw rocks and hide their hands. There are some people that say the church has hurt them, and I have watched them be nasty to me and other people for no reason. So here's the thing that I have a question, and I'm going to leave this here because I don't want to go too far over time, but I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it alone. For those individuals that are hurt, I'm sorry it happened to you. But if they died without ever apologizing, would you stay there or would you move on? If you are waiting for an apology to move on, they're not thinking about what happened to you. They're not sleeping with it like you are. You've got to get up. And are you considering how you've hurt people? And do you have the same energy for the hurt that you've caused as the hurt that they've caused? Mind your business that pays you. Now I have a saying, if it ain't feeding you, financing you, or you, it ain't my business, and it shouldn't be yours either. Focus on what's ahead. What Rafiki said, it hurts, but it's in the past. And some of us have pitched our tents in the past, Daryl. And I'm glad I got to have the conversation.
I'm glad I got to have this conversation. This was amazing. This was just really life-changing for me. Like, the respect and admiration that I have for you just...
I love you, Daryl.
Yeah, I love you back. Yeah. Okay, so what's next for Dr. B? What tell the people where they can follow you and what's coming up next.
Yeah, so you can follow me at Dr. B Speaks. I'm a national keynote speaker and leadership development trainer. I am elder at the Vision Cathedral of Atlanta. If you follow me on Dr. B Speaks, there's a link tree there. My podcast is there. We'll come out with season 3 in January. We have some great opportunities for training individuals how to speak professionally in their area of influence. So we have some of those leadership things coming up. And I will start doing life coaching in 2026. So many people have asked me, and so we'll be jumping into that as well. So much is happening in 2026. I cannot wait to share But until then, if you ever need to really see me, you can find me on a Sunday morning at the Vision Cathedral of Atlanta with my friend and brother, Daryl, there as
I
well.
will be there. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you will.
All right. Thank you for joining the Daryl Walters Show. It has been a pleasure. I can't say enough about you, but for those of you out there listening, go there it is. Go follow him. Go follow him. Dr. B. All right.
Thank you.
You very
Thank
much.
you so
It's been a
much.
pleasure.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Listen, as we close out this show, I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's time to let go. It's time to let go of that relationship. It's time to let go of that thought. It's time to let go of the person who hurt you. It's time to let go of that church. There's a book that I read by Mel Robbins called The Let Them Theory. And I want to encourage you, it's time to just let them. They don't like you, let them. They're not in love with you, let them. They did you wrong, let them. Now let you be free. Let you be free from the pain. Let you be free from the hurt. Let you be free from the bondage that has held you down for so long. Let you be free from old thoughts. Let you be free from old thinking. It is time for us. There's so much going on in the world right now that it is time for us to be renewed. It is time for us to have new thinking. It is time for us to have new relationships. It is time for us to have new friends. Anybody out here listening to this message, I want to encourage you to let go of that friendship that's not serving you any purpose. Let go of that thinking. Let go of that old way of thinking. And for those of you, if the church hurts you, it's time to let go and heal. It's just time to let go and heal and move forward and live the best life for you that you deserve to live because you deserve it. We only get one life to live. That's what I've learned. That's what I know. And it's time for us to live it. All right. So till next time, what I need for you to do is live your best life and come back next Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Daryl Walters Show. We'll have more for you. All right. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.